Everyone with XRP in the crypto channel is allowed to rejoin the group. I want to thank everyone as always. Waiting any longer is not justified. We ought to get to work on the change immediately. It was recently announced that regular KVC bank customers in Belgium will be able to swap Ethereum and Bitcoin within the bank. The meaning of that sentence is already clear to you. This is occurring at an extremely rapid pace. In recent months, an increasing number of financial statements have been released to the public. The majority of these organizations are banks in Europe that are beginning to provide their clients with Bitcoin services. In order to provide their clients with additional advantages, several companies also wish to create their own coin websites. It turns out that this is evidence of the transformation we are currently experiencing. You are welcome to use the service again as the owner of XRP. I want to thank everyone as always. It is critical that you click the subscribe box in red. That is essential. Bitcoin is currently worth $2.25, a 3.7% increase from yesterday, and a 1% increase from its previous value. Although the 24-hour. The trade is between $3 billion and $5 billion. 0. The sum is approaching $100 billion. This is due to the fact that the daily transaction volume is approximately $3.5 billion. I want to clarify that nothing on this program is intended to be interpreted as financial advice before we continue. Before we continue, I want to emphasize something. As with any other investment, you should always conduct your own research before investing in cryptocurrencies. One of the more humorous stories about this topic is this one. You're intelligent enough to figure things out on your own. The most costly coin available at the moment is XRP, which has surpassed Bitcoin in value. According to the skewed viewpoint, the winner should be determined by a single coin, each one in its complete form. However, you should be aware that XRP is now experiencing a wild ride. You ought to be aware of this. You shouldn't disregard the concurrent events if you have XRP with you. Numerous things are possible outcomes taking place simultaneously. Visit this link to see it. Ripple has stated that they will like to open a Fed Master account as part of their plan to become a banking organization. They will be the first Bitcoin bank to maintain direct communication with the FBI of inquiry as a result of this modification. Consider what would happen if you didn't require the services provided by banks. They might be able to provide cryptocurrency-based financial services, for instance. If you employ your skills, they could be willing to pay you money. XRP and more cryptocurrency as protection. They could be able to transfer funds to other nations. The blockchain technology may also be available to them. One of the best features is that your money is protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, up to a specified amount. $250,000. Digital assets may be included in this sum. XRP will be responsible for everything that goes wrong. Sometime between 2025 and 2026, the century-old financial cartel began to disintegrate. Without a doubt, this will be recorded in the history books. Many significant events are now taking place. According to Brad Gerlinghouse, the individual in question, Ripple is attempting to obtain a national bank license from the OC due to the company's track record of fulfilling the requirements. This might also be due to Ripple's track record of success. If all goes according to plan, we might accept both states through the New York Finger Lakes Disaster Service. Please pardon me. I apologize to the Federal Reserve and the New York Department of Financial Services. I should also mention that this is a unique and inventive method of determining people's level of confidence in the stablecoin market. Our company also submitted an application for a Fed Master account for standard custody at the beginning of this week. The United States Congress is. Currently, banks are taking action while clear laws and regulations are being developed. Things used to be different when Operation Choke Point 2 was in effect. Since then, a lot of things have changed. This access would allow us to maintain the Arlist stores. Working directly with the Fed would provide Arlist a safer trust that would be permitted in the future. Something like this would be really beneficial. The infrastructure that Ripple is constructing has always been secure, reliable, and tried and true in the industry, and it will continue to be so in the upcoming years. Our Rust stands apart in an industry worth over $250 billion because it prioritizes regulations, which is what institutions believe is crucial. Actually, I said precisely this. I've discussed this topic 100 times on my show. In reality, these men are the ones carrying out these actions. They don't play a game of chance here. They understand the importance of having easy-to-follow rules. I understand. And by introducing Rust at the ideal moment, Ripple is certainly hopping on board with the global demand for stablecoins. This stablecoin, known as Rust, complies with the regulations established by government agencies. For this reason, everything will be not the same as it was. Additionally, according to Smoke, more customers will most likely use Fed as a result of the switch to ISO 2022. Furthermore, unambiguous laws and regulations have enabled financial institutions to most likely join the cryptocurrency market. If the regulations are clear and simple to comprehend, well-known businesses like banks and other financial institutions might ultimately enter the Bitcoin market. Thus, the value of Bitcoin and the expansion of secure currencies would both be accelerating. Numerous transactions involving cryptocurrency assets valued at a few dollars would be tax-free. Utilizing these resources for daily tasks would be simpler as a result. In addition, it would eliminate taxes on a wide range of activities. Suppose that such an event actually occurred. The coin industry would benefit greatly from this, since many people will be watching it. Furthermore, given that we already know that, while we were discussing currencies, I felt it was crucial to bring up the actual market. The S&P 500 is receiving a lot of attention. It's incomprehensible that the S&P 500 has risen around 30% since its November low point. When you look at the rates, you'll see that the power is still declining by 65.2%, which, when you consider it, is still a significant amount. You have expressed your sincere desire to witness the power outage and the climax that took place in. We benefit from the month of May. At the beginning of this year, Bitcoin hit its previous all-time high of 109,400. If Bitcoin could maintain that level throughout the year, it would be incredible. Overall, it appears that breaking this will be difficult.